Now, picture this scene. You're at the beach, with your feet sinking in the water in continuous waves of refreshment. You look around and see a lot of other people. How many of you have experienced this? Almost everybody, I guess. Being in a large crowd on shore, you look around, but you start wondering something not everybody wonders. How much energy fills the world around me? How much are we wasting? How much movement, how much power do those summer waves hide? How can we exploit all this in order to build a better future for everybody? The importance of seaside tourism ever since ancient times is indisputable, as is its impact on the environment. But let's be honest, holidays are those days when people don't want to think or even care at all about anything. They don't care about waste, they don't care about the damage that they're causing to the environment, for example, through littering, or through the extended use of energy that would normally be mitigated by common sense. People don't mind going to touristic cities with very poor environmental standards. Instead, they love it. The entire system is incredibly profligacious. So as this clever idea struck us, we started wondering, how can we make seaside tourism self-sustainable? Our answer to this question is the concept of Greenbay, a large touristic district entirely fueled by marine energy. The idea is pretty simple in itself. The power we need would come from the sea, giving and taking energy in circle. The first step to build all this would be to put large buoys near the coast, using modern technologies with a spring-like mechanism to maximize their efficiency. Those buoys could produce energy from the movement of waves and tides using an electromagnetic induction and a dynamo. Some of the models we analyzed, especially those from a company called WaveSpring, are able to produce up to 250 kilowatts and have an average output of 100 kilowatts. For those of you unfamiliar with such units of measure, that's a whole lot. The energy produced there would then be transported to the shore via underwater cables that would merge and enter big battery stores where the energy would be stored in batteries, and consider that the average need of a house is a maximum of 5 kilowatts. Each buoy could produce enough energy to fuel 20 houses, which is not a small number. But apart from houses, apartments, and also residences, some of the energy could then be used to fuel vehicles and to fuel numerous charging stations that people could use to recharge their electric boats, which are an innovative means of transport that is becoming more and more common and would provide everybody with a cheap and eco-friendly way to move all around the coast. With such a large amount of power produced, the energy leftovers could then be used to fuel nightclubs. They could be used to fuel bars or artificial lighting for the night, but also could be very useful for services in the nearby areas, such as hotels and restaurants. The goal here is to create an area as wide as possible where you can go on holiday and your impact on the ambient to be virtually non-existent. We want to go completely off the grid, and once we do, we'll be gone for good. Solar panels and windmills could also help us be sure that the energy needs of the city are fulfilled at any time. The remaining space would then be populated by trees in order to further increase the environmental health of the place and to allow people to hide in the shadow during the hottest days of the summer. The architecture would also reflect this idea of perfect balance between man and nature, between us and the world around. This would be accomplished using modern constructions that blend in with the flora and fauna of the coastal habitat and are in harmony with the natural climate and plants. For example, the museum that we saw earlier in the last talk could also be happily integrated in our system, providing yet another attraction for the people coming here. Trash and waste would be reused as much as possible, with products sold in the area built in order to guarantee maximum level of biodegradability and high standards of recycling. The economic movement in the area would also be extremely beneficial. An example of this can be seen in the numerous green cities that are being built all around these days. They inspired us because they are the realization of our goal of the reduction in pollution that we want to reach. Take, for example, Tianjin, a large Chinese city that has become internationally famous for its green habits. Imagine now what resonance would Greenbay have. Imagine how many people would come to a city or even to a country just to see the future happening, just to feel its unique atmosphere. And once the project took off, it would be followed by many. And we could start a virtuous circle, we could start a true revolution in the way we think about tourism and holidays in general. It would make everyone happier. So there we had it. Our clever idea of the Greenbay had now taken form. Just this one, somehow fundamental question remained unanswered. Is it actually possible to make this project work? In our short-sighted world of personal interest, can such ideas thrive, or are they destined to be considered utopias forever? The answer is we don't know, but this surely is not a reason not to try. Maybe the time has come for us to use these new technologies. Maybe the time has come for us to jump and dive right into the wondrous sea that is our future. Thank you.